Okay, hello everyone. I'm going to show you today how to create a GIF that has basically some excuse me, animated elements and some static elements to it. So for example, we have this very cool portrait here where we've got a lot of static elements, but then we've also got some movement of clouds and water down here and some movement of clouds up here that makes it kind of exciting. We've also got this other GIF here, which is similar in that it has this kind of moving graphics, this video happening behind it, and then it's got some static elements on top. So I'm going to show you how to create this kind of video static hybrid of GIFs. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's see, I've got my video, I've got some pictures. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm actually going to in creating something like this, the first step is that we're going to get this static part of the image, and we're going to cut out these parts that we want the movie to be coming through. So for example, I'm going to use this image, so I want to cut out this circle in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that into Photoshop. Here it is. I'm going to size the canvas down just to give my computer a little bit of a break here. And then I'm going to, actually let's get a little fancy with the selection. So instead of going straight to the lasso, I'm actually going to go to the elliptical marquee tool. If it's set to a rectangle, go ahead and click and hold, and then you'll be able to select these other options. So go ahead and click on elliptical marquee tool. And then we're going to zoom out a little bit. And basically, we're going to try and find the point where these two, this circle would have a corner. So I'm going to bring down a ruler. Photoshop has these things called rulers. If you don't see these numbers up here, you want to go ahead and go to View and then come down to Rulers. So normally it would look like this. If you turn rulers on, it will look like this. So you come up into the ruler itself, and then you're going to click and drag down, and you get this nice little guide as a reference, as a ruler line. So I'm going to make one right at the top here coming across, and then I'm going to bring in one from the left. Just to show if this circle were a square, this is where the corner would be. So now right in this corner, I'm going to, with my elliptical marquee tool selected, I'm going to click in that corner, right at that cross, and then bring this down. That's just basically going to give me a very accurate selection for the circle. You'll notice here I can make things that aren't circles, so I want to go ahead and hold Shift so that I keep a very regular circle ratio. And we're going to bring it out to about there, which is about accurate. Now we still have this kid coming in from the bottom. So I'm going to zoom in. First of all, I'm going to turn my rulers off again. So let's see, I've got to go to View. And actually, I'm just going to turn off all extras, which actually includes the marching ants. So we'll keep that for now. I'm going to go back to the Move tool and get these rulers off of here. So, all right, so we just have the selection. So now I'm going to cut out the kid from the selection. So I'm going to go over to my polygonal lasso tool. And then you'll see here there's a little arrow and a little polygon and a little plus. And what I actually want to do is hold the Option button. And if you see here, that little plus turns into a little minus. So that means instead of adding things to the selection, I want to subtract things to the selection. So hold Option and then come down here to the bottom, and then you can trace out this kid at the bottom or whatever you want to exclude from your selection. So I'm doing a pretty quick job on this. You can go in and do it much more smoothly if you'd like, or you can keep that kind of rough cutout look as if it were done with scissors. There we go. I'm closing the loop, and now we've got this area cut out. So basically we have the selection that we want to make transparent. When we open this image, it's a flat image, so the layer comes in as a background layer. Background layer is a special kind of layer that cannot be transparent. So we're going to actually convert that into a regular layer now. We're going to double click on it, and it's going to say New Layer, and we're just going to call it Photo, and then click OK. And now you'll see it's not a background layer, it's just a regular layer. At this point, we can go ahead and hit Delete, and it will remove all of that image from back there, and we'll just get our nice little grid. Go to Select, Deselect to deselect it. And now we're going to export this as what's called a PNG file, which is a little bit more high quality than a GIF because it's not static, because it is static because there's not a lot of graphics. We can get away with using a slightly larger file. So I'm going to go to File, Export, and then Save for Web Legacy. And up here for preset, I'm going to go to PNG24. And we've been checking and unchecking this based on if we want transparency. Usually we do not, but for this particular one we do. So you want to make sure that transparency is checked. And then you'll be able to see this regular grid behind here to show that it is transparent. So we'll go ahead and export that to our desktop as photo cutout. There we are. That is all that we need for this particular section. So we're going to go ahead and close this file out. I'm not going to save it because I already exported it. So let's go ahead and get in Adobe After Effects. Let's boot this program up. I didn't know I had closed it. Okay, so here we go. That's just saying that my computer is a little too slow for this program, but we're forging ahead. We're going to go ahead and click a new project. And here we have our After Effects main interface. Hopefully we've gone over this in class, but if not, your tools are up here. Basically, the files that we'll be working from go over here. Your main canvas is here, and then your timeline is down here. So we want to go ahead and import our photograph that we just cut out. So let's get photo cutout, and we're going to drag it from the Finder into this project window here, and we'll see it popped up there. And then we also want to grab our video file. I've got this lovely video of boiling water. There we go. You can use obviously whatever you want. So we're going to click and drag that and bring it into the project window as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on that video and just bring it into, oh, I'm sorry, we have to click on New Composition to get our canvas going. So now we're going to go ahead and click on that movie and just bring it right in here. We're going to drop it so it's lined up. We can see here, down here on the timeline, if we hit space, it's a regular movie, so very good. But we want this extra image to be on top of it. So we're going to click and drag from the project window to the composition window. It's a little smaller, so we're going to make it a little bit bigger here. Just to make it nice. So I'm clicking and dragging this up. I'm holding Shift to keep it in proportion. And so basically anything that we marked as transparent in Photoshop is going to be transparent here in After Effects, and we're going to be able to see whatever is under it. So down here it's kind of like the layers, so we can see that we have the photo cutout on top and then the movie on the bottom. So basically that movie is going to play in this whole area that's been cut out. So I'll go ahead and hit the space bar for it to play. And now I've got this lovely composite video photo GIF that I can use. There we are. We'll hit space to pause it again. So there we are with that. We can go ahead and save it. Once we're finished with this part, we'll get to exporting After Effects files in class. So let's go ahead and save this as boiling. Oh, that sounds terrible. Boiling photo. There we go. There we go. So there you have it, a regular photo with some cutout stuff on top of the movie. And then I want to show you one more kind of example of this because it's very similar. So basically, we just recreated something that was very close to this. We have our still image, and then we have our moving images in the background. And that is conceptually very similar to this, which is the moving image in the background and then the still stuff in the front. So let's go ahead and get this drawing going on the movie as well, just for kicks. So I'm going to bring it into Photoshop, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove all of this white. I showed you a little trick in class, but it's not quite going to work for this using the multiply layer. So let's go ahead and, well, it might work, but let's go ahead and do it the way that we know will work, which is to go into Image, and then Adjustments, and then into Levels. So we have some sliders here. You want to take the slider on the right and move it into the center. That makes the whites very white. You want to take the slider on the left and move it into the center, and that makes the blacks very black. So now it's very high contrast. It's either black or white. Then we're going to go into Select and Color Range because we want to select all of this white to delete it. So you get this little eyedropper. So you want to click here on the anywhere where it's white, and you can kind of see the selection up here. If you click black, you'll see everything is selected will be black. So So you want to make sure that it's set on white, and then click OK. And then you get these nice marching ants. Again, we have to move it off of this background layer into a regular layer, so we double click on it to make it a regular layer. And then we're going to go ahead and just click delete. Just press delete. And that will remove all of the white areas, all of the things that were selected. Then we're going to go to select deselect, deselect it. So now we just have this black line work on a transparent background. So we want to export that. So we're going to go to File, Export, Save for Web Legacy. Oh, this is a big old file, so it's going to take a second. I forgot to resize it. So I'm actually going to cancel out of here just to make this easier on myself again. I'm going to resize it down to 900. And then back to export, export for web legacy, and this will take, there we go, a little faster. We want to set this to PNG 24. You want to make sure the transparency is checked so that you can see that grid behind it, and then click Save. So we're going to call this transparent eye.png and save it on the desktop, and then we'll close out of there. We won't save it. And then we're going to come back to our After Effects file here. So I'm actually going to go back to the desktop, find that image that I just cut up, which is the transparent eye, and I'm going to drag it to the project window. And then over here, I'm going to drag it to the comp window. So you can see here that everything that is white is now cut out. You can't see it at all. And it's just showing whatever is underneath this particular layer. You can rearrange these layers by clicking and dragging. Of course, it's not doing it for me right now. But you can have these rearranged as well. I'm also going to turn off this photograph for a second. So you can actually just have this other element on top of it. You can add multiple elements. You can go really nuts with this. Gonna rewind and press play. So you can see the boiling eye. It's very exciting. So you can have a lot of fun with this stuff. I'll save it again, and that is it for our tutorial here on how to do those images that I lost here. Where'd they go? So this is how to do these kind of the portraits with the static elements and the moving elements as well. Please let me know if you have any questions. Shoot me an email. I hope this was helpful, and stick around for a second. There will be some attributes for the art that we looked at and used in the lesson. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good one, and bye-bye.